Greetings everyone, this is me again, Zara, ex-Muslim, ex-Shia. Come to help the Muslims see for themselves and decide to leave Islam. Now we're on this topic. Allah doesn't know, the all-knowing Allah doesn't know. Simple logic. So I'll be showing you from the Quran ayats for now. And you all know what logic is, right? I assume. Zana. So there's thought and there's zana. Vana. Okay, and logic. What is logic from the dictionary? Oxford Languages. Reasoning conducted or assessed according to strict principles of validity. Hope you get this definition. Okay. And so from this article also by Lindsay Kramer her blog, a logical fallacy is an argument that can be disproven through reasoning. This is different from a subjective argument or one that can be disproven with facts. So let's see now. Allah tells you to use reason but doesn't tell us how to use it with strict principles of validity. Yes, in one ayah he does state if there are much contradictions, then the Quran is not from Allah. But in that ayah Allah says reflect, ponder. And this is explained by very well by Abu al-Maududi in Quran.com under Surah 4 Ayat 82, which says, do they not ponder about the Quran? Had it been from any other than Allah, they would surely have found in it much inconsistency or contradiction, meaning. Footnote on that one, the main reason for the attitude of the hypocrites and lukewarm believers was the lack of conviction that the Quran came from God. They did not believe that the Prophet had received the messages and directives that he preached from God himself. You can see why, because there's inspiration coming from Shaitan. So adding that. Hence, when they were censored for their hypocritical conduct, they are told that they did not reflect upon the Quran. For the Quran itself is a strong, persuasive testimony to its divine origin. It is inconceivable that any human being should compose discourses on different subjects under different circumstances and on different occasions, and that the collection of those discourses should then grow into a coherent, homogeneous, and integrated work, no component of which is discordant with the others. No component of which is discordant with others. And we have found components discordant with others, contradictions in between Quran ayats too. Ummul and your mother's only Surah Mujadila ayat 22. Oh, sorry, Surah Mujadila ayat 2 and Surah Azab ayat 5, is it, or 6? Oh, and others. It is also inconceivable that such a work would be permeated through and through with a uniform outlook and attitude, a work reflecting a remarkable consistency in the mood and spirit of its author. Consistency. No. And a work too mature ever to need revision. So well explained, Abu al-Maududi, the Fahim commentary. Then we have this ayat, Surah 8 ayat 22. Allah tells us to use reason, where Allah tells us to use reason. Indeed, the worst of living creatures in the sight of Allah are the deaf and dumb who do not use reason. Then in Surah 10 ayat 100, and it is not for a soul to believe except by permission of Allah, and He will place defilement upon those who will not use reason. So really is to believe. Now this ayat has a contradiction in itself. And it is not for a soul to believe except by the permission of Allah, meaning, right? So a soul or anyone cannot believe without the permission of Allah. On one hand. On the other hand, Allah tells us that He will put defilement upon those who do not use reason. So even if we use reason, will we believe in this? Think about it. What is the ayah saying? Without Allah's permission, no one can believe. Then He says, use your reason. If you don't use your reason, defilement will be on you. So what does He mean by not using reason and putting defilement on you? Will reason alone make you believe? Or there are higher truths, and by the permission of Allah, but the higher truths that we go to after reasoning, after, if you can see, we can totally do this kind of, what is that word? Come to the end of our mind, reasoning, search, and then go to higher spiritual realms without reasoning then some other tool is required, right? So here we're told Allah, by Allah's permission, a soul can believe, not without His permission. And yet He goes on to say, so it's incoherent here. It's, okay. So the previous ayat says, like, to the messenger of Allah, you shouldn't compel them to believe and all this. If Allah had willed, He would have made them all believe. But by Allah's permission. Something really wrong in these Quran ayats. So anyways, reason, again, reason very important, right? And then again we have this incoherency in this Surah 10 ayat 100. First of all, to believe is by the permission of Allah. And then there are other ayats which say, well, they didn't want to believe. They were stubborn or neglectful or... So that also. And then He goes to say, He will place defilement upon those who will not use reason. So I guess we have to use our reason first and foremost, and then we'll see that we get Allah's permission to believe or not in this. I don't know. Surah 10 ayat 101, say, look at what is in the heavens and on earth, but what use are signs and warnings to people who will not believe. Does this mean that we have to use our reason and then also look at the heavens and the earth for the signs? These are signs of Allah and warnings, but what avail? What use are these for people who will not believe? God knows this. I don't know how to point. I think there is a contradiction in my opinion. Like, what use? People who will not believe. They just don't believe it. And then by the permission of Allah. So don't compel them to believe, because it's by the permission of Allah that they will believe. So I'm kind of confused here. Then let's go ahead. They can believe if they use reason? No. God knows. That is what is suggested, I guess, strictly because He will put defilement on those. Surah 10 ayat 100 on that. And then, but negated in Surah 10 ayat 100, that is, yes, That is, by his permission they will believe. Oh, so what he's trying to say, okay, that those who don't use reason will also not believe. All right? And by his permission they believe. So, by his permission. I think he should have put it in a better way. So my mind is kind of now confused here. I've tried to reason with this ayat, Surah 10, ayat 100. I couldn't. To correct Allah. But I know something is wrong, like there's by the permission of Allah. And is he trying to say that they won't even use reason? Okay? So let's see if we, I used my reason, and I feel the logic here in this Quran is reason. For reason, we need to use logic, right? Reason, rational thinking, and logic. So let's see, Surah 11, ayat 118. O you who have believed, do not take as intimates those other than yourselves, i.e. believers, for they will not spare you any ruin. They wish you would have hardship. Hatred has already appeared from their mouths, and what their breaths conceal is greater. Excuse me. We have certainly made clear to you the signs. If you will use reason. Signs are clear here. He says, if you will use reason, you will see, you will understand the signs as they are clearly given to us by Allah. Here we see that inspiration can come from Shaitan also. So the revelations coming from Shaitan, right, in Surah 6, ayat 112. He could say these are signs that Allah exists. Oh, but Shaitan will never make you believe in Allah. Oh no, he will make you believe in many gods. Or what? Associate with Allah. No. They also believe in Allah, some of them, and the pagan Arabs. They used to believe in Allah. So, but associate with Him. So then it gets confusing. Then he says that we have certainly made clear to you the signs if you will use reason. So, okay. Then here we see that inspiration can come from Shaitan. Remember I showed you also in Surah 6, ayat 112, done yuhi, right? And how has Allah made His signs clear through revelations when revelations can come from Shaitan? Oh, think about it. So in Surah 6, ayat 112, and thus have we made for every prophet an enemy, devils from mankind and jinn, inspiring to one another decorative speech in delusion. But if your Lord had willed, they would not have done it. So this also. So your Lord willed? No. But if your Lord had willed, they would not have done it. Okay, so your Lord didn't will it. And so they did it. So leave them and that which they invent. And then the Surah 21, ayat 7. And we sent not before you, except men to whom we revealed the message. Meaning, we revealed, right? So ask the people of the message if you do not know. Now they could be inspired by Shaitan. Like in Surah 6, we are told, ayat 112. How would we know that? The former scriptures, or ask the people of the message to whom it is revealed, right? If you are in doubt about this, or except men to whom we reveal. And we send before you, except men to whom we revealed. So ask the people of the message if you do not know. If you do not know, ask them now, he says. And here he says, we've made signs clear. We have certainly made clear to you the signs if you will use reason. So exhausting reason and seeing the signs, okay, we get to the end of reason, we see all the signs, and we also, what he requires us from us is that if you do not know, ask those who we have, the people of the message. And how will they tell us? How will they show us? If you do not know about this revelation, ask those who know, the people of the message. I don't understand this. How can you even trust them, right? Because inspiration, former people, Bani Israel went astray. We are told some believed. Are we to ask those some of them? So quite foggy, not clear. Like what to do, really. Sometimes do this, sometimes use reason. I thought, like, okay, use reason. Also ask those, if you do not know, then ask those who know, who are given the message before you, before Prophet Muhammad. I didn't know that. I thought the Ahlul Bayt are these, Ahlul Zikr, or the people of revelation. Okay, so how can you trust them also, the Jews and the Christians? Some of them change the words and all this. Or you go and you look at the scriptures, look at the former scriptures yourself, rather than asking the people of the message. I think he asked way and stole it from them, whatever they had. Revelations revealed more to them. I don't know. That's just my opinion. But Surah 2, Ayat 106 says, and we do not abrogate a verse or cause it to be forgotten, except what we bring forth, better than it or similar to it. Do you not know that Allah is over all things competent? So we cause it to be forgotten, we cause a verse to be forgotten. I wonder why this happens, right? It could create such a confusion. And what else? Surah 2, Ayat 106, on abrogation and causing to be forgotten, the verse, the prior verse. And in its place we bring forth another better or similar to it, something similar to it. So now about this forgetfulness of the verse. Surah 2, we see in Surah 20, Ayat 115, and we had already taken a promise from Adam before, but he forgot, and we found not in him determination. Okay. So Adam forgot, and he also, like the promise of Allah. So it seems like forgetfulness is a negative term. And then there's no determination. I wonder, so this shows that he forgot because, he was weak. So negative. Right here, in Surah 20, Ayat 115, the forgetfulness. So this ayat shows it's not good to forget a promise you have made to Allah. Yet Allah makes you forget certain, and you say that's okay because that's Allah making you forget. But for now, we're just as scientists, neutral people or logicians trying to figure this out, right? It's not that because Allah said so, so it's okay. We need to see whether this is Allah or Shaitan also has sent the revelation. Logically, okay, using logic. So this I shows it's not good to, but Allah causes His verse to be forgotten. In Surah Baqarah, ayat 106. Then there's another ayat, Surah 18, ayat 63. He said, "Did you see when we retired to the rock? Did you see when we retired to the rock? Indeed, I forgot the fish, and none made me forget it except Satan, that I should mention it. And it took its course into the sea amazingly." Right? So this is the companion, the page of Moses, telling Moses that he forgot. And it was Satan that made him forget, remember. Okay. So now on this ayat, Surah 2, ayat 106, if someone with, now I need a hadith, Surah or commentary 106. Sorry, I forgot to put tafsir here. Or in fact a hadith. Going Quran.com. The Holy Prophet, at first Muslims used to pray Bayt al-Maqaddas at Jerusalem, but on Maqdis, they say. Later on, Allah commanded them to turn towards the Kaaba. Similarly, certain other injunctions were abrogated together, all replaced by others. This provided the Jews and some of the associators too with an occasion to taunt the Muslims and to say that such changes were made by the Holy Prophet himself and not by Allah. The purpose was to sow the seed of doubt in the mind of the Muslims with regard to the Holy Quran being a book revealed by Allah. They used to argue that if everything that Allah revealed was good, as the Muslims affirm, why should one injunction be replaced by another? For it would only mean that one of the two injunctions must be good, and that other evil, but no divine revelation can possibly be evil. Putting these two premises together, the Jews tried to draw the conclusion that the Holy Quran could not be a revealed book. The present verse refutes this line of argument and in effect points out that abrogation does not mean replacing good with evil, or vice versa, which would imply the possibility of the presence of evil in divine revelation, but that anything that Allah reveals to His prophets is good. But that everything that Allah reveals to His prophets is good, and that which has been abrogated is good as much as what abrogated it. The verse declares that if Allah chooses to abrogate an injunction contained in a certain verse while retaining the verse itself as part of the Holy Quran, or chooses to remove a verse from the memories of men altogether, there is nothing objectionable in it. For Allah alone knows the wisdom. Yeah, you see? Allah knows best. Allah's maslahat. Allah knows best. Allah alone knows the wisdom that lies in His choice. And He makes these changes for the good of men. But I need to know why He does this and what. I can't just say Allah knows best, right? Or wrong. I need to understand this deeply. His wisdom in this. For changing a verse. Don't you want to understand? For example, I can understand in this way as a Shia that all 12 Imams or all the imams, Ismaili imams or 12 imams, they're all good, but change comes, right? One imam, like the son and the father, son, father, father, son, father, son, father, son, like that. But to make you forget, that I don't understand. Okay, I can understand a verse coming, a better verse coming, as a substitute of a little bit, but not deeply have I understood this. I can understand, yeah, that different imams coming, but that just shouldn't abrogate. No. Sorry, wrong example. Shouldn't abrogate the imam, the previous one. No, made a mistake. No, even that I don't understand. So, neither better. Allah should make us understand this, right? He's made everything clear to us. So, we should not leave it on God's wisdom here, even. Like I said before, the Muslims say, well, Allah knows best and He can do this. And make us forget. Or make us forget. Like changing the Qibla. Qibla is there, but changing the Qibla. Yeah. Qibla is there, but changing the Qibla. And making you forget something which He has brought forth. Someone, let's see. And also forgetting, yeah, forgetting. That's also. He always sends another verse. Or equal, okay. Allah being omnipotent, is He? I mean, yes, and omniscient. He possesses the authority to change His commandments as He likes. But why? And He also knows what is good for men at a particular time. Oh, okay. And makes these changes according to this knowledge. Man's knowledge. What is good, what is bad. Oh, men have no friend or helper except Allah as friend. Oh, Allah keeps the good in view while laying down injunctions. Like in certain cases, some things may be good, like sharab, alcohol, could be good in medicine, but not good consuming it more than how for medicine, only things like that. Or cleaning something. As helper, He protects those who obey His commandments against the hostility of their foes. But if the obedient are to receive blessings in the other world greater than the harm they have to suffer. I just remember, what is Nasik, abrogation? I just remembered something. Sorry, blessed companion, forget a certain verse altogether. The commentators have cited several instances of this kind of naskh, and the purpose in such cases has usually been to repeal a certain regulation. Wait a minute, yeah, like that. Let's see if I can understand through this. It's online understanding now. They were not allowed to fight. Let's see if I can even find that Quran ayat. And do not fight at. No, I can't find that verse. They say we don't want to fight. We were not allowed to fight. Where's that verse? Oh, I just remembered, sorry. While I was doing my notes, I didn't remember this verse. I didn't know I was going to come on this. Where could that ayat be now? Battle has been enjoined upon you while it is hateful to you. But perhaps you hate a thing. Let's see the ayat prior to this. No. No. Can't find that ayat. So I need to find that ayat here. I think it was the Christians, I'm not sure, or the Jews. How is it put they were not allowed? Let me see if I'll remember it later. Just carry on with this tafsir on this ayat. The kinds of abrogation, Surah 2, ayat 106. Making laws and repealing them to promulgate new ones. Wait a minute, let's see this one. The nask. What is nask? Abrogation. So, verse 106 speaks of Allah abrogating certain verses or making men forget certain others. I wonder if Prophet Muhammad forgot, so he made this excuse also. That, okay, Allah has brought a new verse out for and that his companions reminded him. Is there a hadith like this? No, there is a verse for this. And he said, okay, it's abrogated. And they said, but you said you forgot. So he said, Allah makes you forget. Is there a hadith like this? I'm not good in hadiths. Need Christian Prince or Dr. David Wood or something. So abrogating certain verses or making men forget certain others. The first phrase of the verse thus covers all the possible forms. Quran can be abrogated. Okay, the Arabic word, I just skipped some. To write, to abolish, to repeal. Meanings. According to the consensus of all the commentators, the word has been employed in this word's second sense. That is the repeal or abrogation of an injunction. The Blessed forget a certain verse altogether. Allah made the Holy Prophet. Allah made, see? And the other form of nask mentioned in this verse is that sometimes Allah made the Holy Prophet forget his blessed companions for this now. When did he make his holy as prophet? Allah made his prophet Muhammad forget hadith. Sahih al-Bukhari 5038. Let's read this. Not sure. It's narrated Aisha. Allah's Messenger heard a man reciting the Quran at night and said, may Allah bestow His mercy on him, as he has reminded me of such and such verses, of such and such surahs which I was caused to forget. This also, yeah. You see? And who can cause you to forget? Shaitan, we see. Joshua, the Bible says it's Joshua, right, with Moses. The name in the Quran is not given. So this younger companion of Moses, I think, younger, or it doesn't even say younger, but just a page with Moses, a companion with Moses. What did he say? He said, none but Satan made me forget. Right? Oh. So this is not even on abrogation, but this is just so a verse that Allah makes Allah makes a verse be forgotten, right? This is just that this verse was not even cancelled by Allah, but your Prophet has forgotten, and so Surah 18, Surah Kaf, Ayat 63. He said, did you see when we retired to the rock? Indeed, I forgot the fish, and none made me forget it except Satan, that I should mention it, and it took its course into the sea amazingly. None made me forget it except Satan. So we have this, that Prophet Muhammad in Sahih Bukhari 50:30, it is narrated by Aisha, forgot a verse. Reminded me of such and such verses, many verses. It's in plural, of such and such surahs, which I was caused to forget and completed, caused to forget by whom? Seems Satan has caused him to forget. So when we Shias, if we ever read these kind of anyways, we also have some things, but as bad as this for Prophet Muhammad, we never had, because its progeny would never want to expose such things, and they would put it on the enemy and say the Umayyad side, or this wife of his, she was angry at Ali, and she didn't. She was a bad woman. So that's why narrated Aisha. This shows that Prophet Muhammad wasn't prone to Satan. Satan made him forget. If you take that Quran ayat of Surah Kaf ayat, right? Ooh, so this, you see, and then he could make excuses. You see, Shias? But this is, I think, because he's a false prophet, So I think Shias, you should also consider this hadith in the Sunni sources, Islamic sources, against him. Then things like that, like, so maybe because Satan makes you forget. Then this ayat tells us, okay, Adam forgot, sorry, but he forgot. And we found not in him determination. We had already taken a promise from Adam before. What he's done to Adam, and And then what is there? Surah 4 ayat 119. What is important is here. But okay, let's read the whole ayat. I'll read the whole ayat. And I will mislead them, and I will arouse in them sinful desires, and I will command them so they will slit the ears of cattle, and I will command them so they will change the creation of Allah. How in the world? So how the creation of Allah can be changed? But then he tells us to reflect on this creation, his creation. And then now he says that Shaitan can change the creation of Allah, make them change the creation of Allah. Right? So who can change the nature of this world or creation of Allah? Shaitan makes people change the creation of Allah. And we can go reflecting on the creation of Allah, but how far will we go? Because, and how far can Shaitan make them change the creation of Allah? We are told, but like he should make it clear when Shaitan makes them change the creation of Allah. This is not my creation, but this is my creation. The change creation. So he can even abrogate his signs. Ayats mean signs also. These are signs of Allah. And signs can come in a change to, in a way. If Shaitan can command them to change the creation of Allah, then Allah tells us to ponder over his creation, right? The night and the day and this. But okay, night and the day cannot be changed. The sun cannot be changed, rising from the east and setting in the west. All this cannot be changed, so we have to see what can be changed then from that. But how far can it be changed? And whoever takes Satan as an ally instead of Allah has certainly sustained a clear loss. But this creation of Allah, if something, okay, the day and the night cannot be changed, but something like that can be changed, and we take this as a sign of Allah when Shaitan has made them change it, right? And then we'll be misled by it. You know what I mean? Can't find an example actually. Okay, Surah 19, ayat 67 says, does man not remember that we created him before while he was nothing? So I did this before and I said, okay, I didn't remember that, oh yeah, before birth, before I was born here, I was nothing. Yeah, but examine this first, right? Where do we have to take our mind and go? Allah says, and does man not remember that we created him before while he was nothing? Like before we created him, he was nothing. Okay. Before our birth, Allah says, look, so he says we created him before while he was nothing. When Allah created us, or Adam, or I don't know, can our minds go there? Remember from where? Like memory lane? From the mind? We created him before, right? When he created us. But my mother has given me birth, so it's a reproduction. It's not creation of mine. While he was nothing. Okay, I can understand that I wasn't in this world before my mother gave me birth. But you get this ayat, like it's not that that Allah created me when I came to earth. Allah created me. That's why I came to earth. No, it's when He created him before. We created him before while he was nothing. Does man not remember that we created him before while he was nothing? We have to go before Adam, I think, while we were nothing. And remember that. Can the mind go there? So this, not just before being born, it seems. But even then, like Surah 21 ayah 30 says, did the disbelievers not observe that the heavens and the earth were closed? Okay, scientists have observed that. And then the Muslims say that, oh, this, what is that called? This is the black hole or whatever it's called, Big Bang or something. This is referring to the Big Bang. Scientists have found out about the Big Bang. No Muslim has found out. No Muslim scientists. Even that, think about it, right? So, then we opened them, right? And we created from water every living thing. Would they still not believe? So if you observe, will your observation take you to finding out that you were created from water? Would you mind? Remember, I did zana and all, the thought, the assumption, or opinion, or what? And the akal, I have not done like the, fikr, or using the mind. In what ways? So now we're using our mind in logic, reasoning way. So trying to get all that out of the way, and now it's not assumption, now it's logic we're using, reason. Can we even take our minds to seeing? How will we observe? Seeing? Can we, through the seeing, through our mind's eyes, or what eyes? That we were living things? No, that we were created from water. We were created from water. Because it's saying, did the disbelievers not observe? Now it's on observation, right? This is how scientists also come to a certain hypothesis and logical deduction and premise. Theories, observation. What is scientific method? It is observation and all. What is the definition of science? So, not observed that how many of the Muslims have found out by observation? It's telling the disbelievers. How many Muslims have found out through observation that the heavens and the earth were closed? Then God opened them. And that God created from water every living thing through observation. Now this is through observation. He's saying first use your observation, and then would you then not believe? Would they still not believe, right? Would you then not still believe? Would you then not believe? Sorry, I'm using jargon would you still not believe? Now, how many of you believers have found out through observation? You tell us, believe, otherwise, when you come here, do you tell us how many Muslims have given me this verse instead of those fearful, scary verses about misguidance and going to hell, burning? Even a Christian came here and told me, you are misguiding people. But look, your Allah here, at least He doesn't scare the disbelievers, right? He's saying, observe. How many of you have gone to the depths like this, observing? Would you still not believe? So He's now appealing to your observation, the disbelievers' observations. And you come here straight away telling me that you are an apostate, You will, like, and God knows where you go, but you yourself, as a believer, observed that the heavens and the earth were closed. Because it's telling he's telling the disbelievers here. So please don't do this kind of a thing to your children and other fellow Muslim. Like, scaring them. No, my father was telling me, why don't the Muslims do what these Westerners are doing, scientists are doing, they go in the, instead of just in this conflict, Sunni, Shia, and did I say my prayer properly? There's so much of things to discover, find out, ni'mat of Allah. The Muslims are in this, this compact. इसने ये किया, उसने या नेगेटिव सोचेंगे या एक दूसरे के लिए या शिया सुन्नी. What was he saying? Actually, I am so terrible at like you should, Surah, I made these things for you, tools, crockery, Surah Nahl, ships sailing. You should go and do research, some of us Muslims. Become scientists, become overall, become a jack of all trades or things like that. Discover Allah ka, like what not, under the ocean, over the ocean, in the sky, galaxies. So, when Allah, oh my goodness, thank God I remembered this. Please. So, coming to tell me that I don't know Arabic and I should not do this and read the whole Quran and God knows what reasoning you give me. But when you're looking for a certain topic you will go to those certain ayats which have that topic, right? You're looking for about the topic. You will not read the whole Quran. If you're looking for muta, is muta there? You will go to the muta ayats. You will not, the Shia say. Why do the Shia say? Because Prophet Muhammad allowed them. He says, they say that Prophet Muhammad allowed muta earlier. And it's not been abrogated by him. That's what they came to through research, and all their religious scholars, their imams have told them that muta is their imam from the progeny of Prophet Muhammad, that it has not been cancelled. Okay? Now like this, so the whole thing I gave you to protect the Shias, defend the Shias. Did the disbelievers not observe? How many of you Muslims have observed through observation? Found out that that the heavens and the earth were closed, and that God opened them, and that you were created from water. I mean, this is 1400 years ago. Prophet Muhammad, Allah was telling sent this to tell those disbelievers. Did the disbelievers not observe? Sorry, where's my pen? Or let me put this in bold. Just look at this ayat. The light. Okay? You're telling people Me, did the disbelievers not observe? Right? Observe. Before you jump to, why are you leaving this religion? Why did you leave it? Things like that. Imam Ali says, what is the matter with you? You see, the Dawn newspaper in Karachi used to give these sayings every day of Imam Ali. So one day it came, or maybe I found it online, I don't know. What is the matter with you? That the hereafter doesn't even come in your imagination, if I remember it properly, correctly. Imam Ali saying that, right? I can't find it online. I tried Google search, but I can't find it. Earlier on, I tried. Imagination, hereafter. Now, your observation that the heavens and the earth were closed. Isn't this too far-fetched for the disbelievers? How many years has it been that no Muslim has found out, right? Through observation. Anyone who has found out through any Muslim scientist? Wait a minute. You'll say, oh, the scientists have found Big Bang. You know, it's yes. You will see that it is mentioned in the Quran like this that they were together. What separated it? Was it the Big Bang? You see, or the other, if I've forgotten, I'm sorry, Big Bang theory. Who found this? Leonard, Sheldon, Howard, and Raj. Take a well turn. Oh, this is sorry. This is American television sitcom created by. This is a movie also. Yeah. Space.com. The Big Bang Theory explains how the universe began with an infinitely hot and dense single point that inflated to form the ever expanding. So like Allah also says in the Quran that He is expanding, like growing His creation or something is growing, expanding. But mind you, He didn't say that you Muslims tell everyone, oh, our Quran ayat, it is right. He's telling the disbelievers to observe. And you haven't observed in that way. The creation is expanding. His creation is expanding. Yes. This is also there. It is He who created the night, sun, and the moon. He did not create night and day. Oh, yeah. You'll say like, because He created the sun and the moon, He created oh God, and all the method and the sunsets and all this. So that's how He created the night and the day. This is what I heard you saying at Christian Prince also. Live stream. But he should not say it like this, right? Created the night and the day. Okay. Oh my God. It's okay. Swim along. Verily, we are expanding it. And wait a minute. And it's rounded course. No. This one. Surah 51, ayat 47. The heavens, we have built them with power, and verily we are expanding it. Surah 51, ayat 47, right? Surah Zariyat. And the heavens, we constructed it again. But he built the heavens, constructing. Oh, you say, the heavens, it has 7 stages. So they're like kind of built. It, it means God knows what will come in your mind for this defense. He's the constructor. He constructed it. Okay, so here it is, expanding, yeah? But please don't tell people that, oh yeah, okay, you can say that, but also look inside yourself, right? And see, your Allah is telling the disbelievers to observe, appealing to the observation or something. What is it? Or looking, considering. Surah 21, sorry, I didn't put the Surah 21 ayat. Surah Anbiya, is it? Surah 21 ayat 30? Let me just, 30, yeah. Thank you. Thank you to the mind, thank you to the reminder who reminded me. Realize, see, do they consider those, do not see those who disbelieved that the heavens and the earth were a joint entity. Then we parted them, and we made from the water every living thing. Then will not they believe? What is this word? Please mind your ears. I'm going to... Yara. Oops. Oh, my ears. Yara. Yara? What's Yara? See? How could you see? Who found this? The scientists, right? And does he say, well, hello, believers, you observed and you saw that the earth and the heavens and the earth were closed. Then we opened them and we created from... You see, this is the problem with you Muslims, believers. You really don't reflect upon, you don't consider human beings who are... You really don't have that heart. When you look at the Shias, you jump on. I felt, when I realized what this is, between Sunnis and Shias, the conflict, I wrote, those who do not understand are Azadari, crying for Imam Hussein. They are cold-blooded and hard-hearted people. And this was not for the Christians that I wrote. It was realizing what the Sunnis, Muslims were telling us. Oh, they cry for Imam Hussein because they killed Imam Hussein. And now they are regretting, they are feeling guilty for their sin, they killed Imam Hussein. Things like this, right? Why like this? And now that I'm an ex-Muslim apostate, my goodness, all of you come to me, all Sunnis, all to kill me, injure me, say things here, distract me, stop me. create obstacles even when I'm not feeling well. Try to provoke me also. You don't have that feeling. And in debates and all discussions with Christian Prince, Dr. David Wood, you would say, see, this is how you will tell them. Even if they're mocking you and all this, I'll get angry at Christian. I'll say, I could get angry, but I'm not going to put it this way. The way you put it so nicely. See, our Quran says this, right? That the earth was expanding and scientists have found out through Big Bang. And this, it means the Big Bang explains this, that heaven and the earth were closed. This you will say to defend your religion. Did the disbelievers not see that the heavens and the earth were closed? Well, what should God have done at that time? Called the believers and said, tell them, oh yes. So the believers have not only by the permission of Allah believed and looking at His signs, but they've also observed. They've also used their rational mind. They've also thought, logic, reflected on the Quran ayats. I would say, did the believers observe that the heavens and the earth were closed? Then Allah opened them. And that the water, from water created Allah living things. Every living thing. Maybe even you. And they have believed. And they have believed now. Go to the disbelievers and the ayat comes. Do you not observe, disbelievers, what the believers have observed 1400 years ago? That the heavens and the earth were closed. Now you would say, our Prophet knew this. Okay. But how many with the Prophet believers knew this? Imam Ali knew this, the Shias would say, with Prophet Muhammad. How many of those with Imam Ali, the Shias of Imam Ali, observed and knew this? Tell me. And how should your Allah have written? So, because your Allah is a gaslighter, your Allah is like so unjust like this, right? You come to us, forget me as an ex-Muslim, ex-Shia. The way you go to the Shias also. Forget the Christians debating and all this. If I'm a Shia, the Sunnis could say anything they like. I knew my religion. It didn't matter to me. It made no difference. Imam Hussain has proven how true Islam is for me at that time with his grand sacrifice. Zib Azim has proven the prophecy of the Quran. Abraham's son was ransomed with the great sacrifice. So I knew what they were spreading all these false rumors against me. Against Shias. I didn't have to, but it didn't make a difference to me. But you know how you people This is because at that time, relying heavily when Hussein's name came and when Muharram came and all this, but when reading the Quran, my eye used to shake inside. Do not call on any other than Allah. And all this. I didn't understand completely, but now Shias, when you read the Quran, right? Don't rely heavily on your imams. We leave behind those we have loved or we love. We look at logic, simple logic. I could have easily gone to the Ismailis on their website and said, I want to become an Ismaili. Please let me know what the process is. I think I'm going to take this Imam. I want to know more. He's adorable. I've looked up to him. Like Imam Hussain, actually. And then, yes, he's very peaceful. I have contemplated, and why did he marry the foreigners? And like this, and about his race course, business, and all this. I've read online. Hazir Imam. Okay? So I didn't think of these things that I was supposed to, that I would say here, but now I have. So this way too about this, but what is now on the point, on the topic? Logic. Your Allah. So sometimes he's appealing to remember we created him before while he was nothing. That took me to, oh, no, I'm wrong. I said that, oh, before I was born I was nothing, how could I? No, but look at, we created him. Not that, do you remember when before your mother gave you birth, that you were nothing? Now, reading Dr. Deepak Chopra's book on 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, you are pure potentiality. You have never been nothing, right? Although Hindus say that there's nothingness, Shiva, nothingness. But that nothingness also perhaps has pure potentiality, I'm not sure. Dr. Deepak Chopra's book. Then we are living thing. Then from water created. Then it says, yes, Surah 40 ayat 67. Surah 40 ayat 67. It is He who created you from dust. You would say these are levels of creation, and then you would say, do you even remember that you were created from dust? It says here, while he was, does man not remember that we created him before while he was nothing? You say, oh, what he means is that, no, wait a minute. Don't say what he means is this and that, because Surah 21 ayat 30, he says we created from water every living thing. Could be human beings too. Every living being or thing. Were we things? This is a translation of that ayat. Could be wrong. Thing. Surah 40 ayat 67 says, it is He who created you from dust. It doesn't say He created you from nothing. While this ayat says, He created you from nothing. Right? Meaning, when you were nothing. So it means He created you from nothing. This ayat says He created you from water. Surah 21 ayat 30. Surah 40 ayat 67 says He created you from dust. Now, do you remember this whole process that when you were water, when you were dust, and when you were nothing, and Does not, and disbelief, yeah? When you were nothing, no, when you were water, when you were dust. Do you remember the whole? What does he say here? It is he who created you from dust. But before this, does not man remember? Did not the disbelievers not observe? See. Can you see it? Surah 36 at 82, I know it says, and you know it too. His command is only when he intends a thing that he says to it, be, and it is. So this means that before this, God knows you were nothing. God only knows, right, who you were. I can't see it. From which eyes shall I see this? We created you from one soul. Oh, another one. So do you remember when you were souls? Only one? Single? I wonder how this lady came up with all this arms across, that the souls, how the souls became through how she contemplated on this, I don't know. Judy Hall. In London, I bought her book, Hands Across Time. I think, if I remember correctly, the title, The Soulmate Enigma. So how does she, for those who believe in reincarnation, the concept of a soulmate is crucial. You know, so she goes to loosely knit soul. How does Judy Hall remember all this? Where did she find all this from? Then how the soul, how it was a single soul, then God, groups, then became twin souls, group of souls, then serial soulmates, then eternal triangles, and she explains, I think she's also made some, thank you Judy Hall, she's also made these graphs and all. How does she remember all this? Using a variety of case histories. No, but that graph and that explanation from soul enigma. So one soul going down to the parts of the soul. I think if I haven't forgotten, no codes. So this about then later on it's about the soul mates and all. But before this, like before she comes to this, mentioning this in her book, one soul, then different groups, like Allah has put. So this also, this ayat, we created you from one soul. So you get my point. Allah sometimes appeals to seeing, remembering, considering what you have been created. You were nothing, or before you were nothing. He created you from one soul. Then he made from it its mate. And he produced from you, from the grazing livestock, 8 mates. He creates you in the wombs of your mothers. Creation after creation. Within 3 darknesses. Surah Zumar, Ayat 6. O mankind, fear your Lord who created you from one soul. Surah Nisa, Ayat 1. Surah Hujurat, Ayat 13. O humanity, indeed, we created you from a male and a female, and made you into peoples, tribes, and so forth. To get to know one another, He created you from one soul, right? So this also. Do you remember all the processes? So I haven't been showing you very nicely, step by step logic, what is illogical in the Quran, and just taking two ayats that I may do later, right? Show you where this here is illogical, not like this. So I've come with many ayats and in a disorderly manner, but what was my point here? Allah cancels verses or causes to be forgotten. I hope I have not confused you. This I chose. It's not good to forget a promise you have made to Allah. What kind of logical fallacy would be here? But Allah causes His verse to be forgotten. Then we went to the fish and Satan making him forget. What kind of illogical or logical fallacy, even what is illogical, right? And so something like creation, Big Bang Theory. Where's that article? See, like what in philosophy, they found 7 types of reasoning in philosophy. 7 types of reasoning. One is deductive reasoning. What is the inductive reasoning? Analogical reasoning, abductive reasoning, cause and effect reasoning, critical thinking, and decompositional reasoning. My goodness. Science and Research, Indeed.com. And they even have a video on this. 7 types of reasoning with definitions and examples. Indeed editorial team on YouTube. They will explain all this, which God hasn't done. In this quick video, we'll break down the key differences and provide examples to help you grasp these 2 essential approaches to logic. The ability to reason is an important skill for anyone seeking to succeed in the career. This also for the career. Again, in this article, we discuss the concept of reasoning, the 7 types of reasoning, and when to use each one. When to use each one. And Allah, and what is reasoning? Reasoning is the ability to assess things rationally by applying logic based on new or existing information when making a decision or solving a problem. Reasoning allows you to weigh the benefits and disadvantages. So this is for professional people also who artificial intelligence philosophy. You can find formal reasoning is established disciplines such as mathematics, logic, artificial intelligence, and philosophy. Allah just tells you to use your akal, then zana, where to use that, because it says zana. Zana is in some cases sin. And then one Muslim has come here telling me that zana is haram. Where is it halal? And then later on, I first chewed him off, and then I found that verse in Surah Nur. Allah tells the believers, Why did you not dhana? Think good of yourselves, right? It's not haram. Things like that. So in a mishmash, not clear, yet you put your life on this, dedicating it to Islam. Does man not remember that we created him before while he was nothing? Okay, I can go before, I can say before my mother gave me birth, I was nothing. But have a close look at this ayat. God knows. But then he says, he created you in your mother's womb, and then stages, in stages he kept creating you. God knows, like, should he say is that creation? And that means your mother, no, that means automatically you, I gave, it's like, no, is it? I'm not sure if that's logical. I have to be very precise and cautious. It's like, no, it's loosely put, like, my mother gave birth to me. She would say, I created you. Would she say, I created you? The way Allah, what is this? Surah 40 ayat 67. It is He who created you from dust, then from a sperm drop, then from a clinging clot. He's been creating you. These are stages of creation. Then He brings you out as a child. Okay. Then He brings you out. So no, I can't say that my mother created me, because then he's put it right here. Then He develops you that you reach your time of maturity. Yeah, this is good. But I think what it should be is that your creation is a development all the time. It's not like He puts it here. I created you. 7 types of reasoning. Okay. This is the, logical fallacies are everywhere. So I'll read this later. Undo it. Oh my God. No. Surah Anbiya. It is He who created the night. He created you. He created you in the womb. Did it say that? He created you from one soul, then He made it its. Created the heavens, purpose, shaped you. He shaped you, perfecting you a form, and to Him He creates you in your mother's wombs, giving you one from after another. I know the ayat is, but which surah is this? Shapes you in your wombs. Okay, if he says shapes you, then that's good. God knows, shudder the skins. I can't remember which ayat. So now let's see. He created you from a sperm. Quran. Allah created you from dust, then from a sperm drop. He created you from a sperm drop? Are you sure? Created you from Surah Fatir, Ayat 11. Does give birth except with his knowledge. And no female, and no each person is going, wait. Now, he is the one who created you, khalaq, from the dust, then from a semen drop, then from a clinging substance. No, this is development. This can't be creation of you. Then he brings you out as a child. Okay. Now he brings you out. Creation has stopped. Now he brings you out. Then he lets you reach your maturity. Now the creation has stopped. Old among you dies, lets you reach a term specifying that you may use reason. You see? Again, reason very important. Aqal. Taqiluna. Use reason. What is his reason? He's showing you your creation and then your development. He is the one who created you from dust. It should be created you from nothing. And then he made you from dust. Then the development of yours is from the, is it? Drop of semen. Then is your development from a clot. Even this scientifically is wrong. Oh my goodness. But here, for the point here, creation. He created you from dust, then from a drop of semen he created you. Then from a clot he created you. Full stop. You see? This is not right. You see? His reasoning is not right. Yes. Can we say his reasoning, his logic about creation of you, your creation? You see, he created you from nothing. He created you soul, from one soul. Then he developed. Then you developed. He developed you from this. This is a development, right? This is not creation. Then he created you from dust. And he doesn't even mention here the soul that he created you from, some other ayat. And then the water he created you from. Does it say creation? Problem is, I forgot, I was in a hurry. Right at the end, before coming here, I added these notes. No, I actually did all this. So, what is not right? Here, what would you say? Not observe the heavens and the earth were closed. Then we opened them and we created from water every living thing. We created from water. It is he who created you from dust. You see, they put in brackets here, he develops you, right? That's why they put in brackets to make sure you know here there's no creation. It means development of yours. But he himself here doesn't put development for this at least. At least he says then he brings you out as a child, then that you reach your maturity. So they put he develops you in brackets here. But here, you are not created from this thing, this creation, this is your development. So maybe he means creation. You know what is khalq? What is khalq? I mean, maybe I'm taking the English khalq meaning. Oh my God. Does khalq really mean creation? Okay, it says creation. Let's see creation meaning. An action or process of bringing something into existence, right? Once you are in existence, then you can't be created. Then the process is different. You get it? Because I've been trying to see what is this, that Allah is above existence even. Could pure existence be Allah? So that's how I came to this, that existence, once, yeah. You see, the action or process of bringing something into existence. Action or process. Once you come into existence, creation of a coalition government. Once a coalition government is created, even the government is there, but then it can't be created. Then the method used is not development and all this. It's not creation. Oh my God. I think where you people have jumped to believers, when your ABCD here, the foundation, do you understand? It's kind of wobbly. Okay, so act of bringing the world in, the act of making, inventing, or producing. Once you come into existence, the creation is that you come into existence, your creation is done, now it's your development starting, right? Your creation has been finished. God created you from out of nothing, and now you were water. Let's say so God created you out of water and out of, created you from dust. I think the philosophers who are the pure, who've come to what is pure reasoning, Kant, what is pure reasoning, logic. Who are the, sorry, no, like, who are the logicians? They must be laughing there. They must be so upset. Just laugh it, just crack up, logicians. Contemporary experts. Oh my God, the classical famous logicians. Oh, Bertrand Russell. Don't. So God, that day I was going through Quora also, and I found something that there's this in the Quran. It's it goes against Cantor's, if you say God does not exist beyond Cantor's theorem, theory, theorem. Cantor's theorem is in set theory. The theorem that the cardinality, I can hardly understand this. I haven't gone so deep into, I mean, in maths, I don't even remember. No, I don't think I've done this. The theorem that the cardinality, numerical size of a set, is strictly less than the cardinality of its power set or collection of subsets. So this, they used Cantor's theorem to say that if it would be logical, it would not fit in as God is beyond his existence or something like this. In symbols, a finite set S with n element contains this. No, I won't. I didn't understand this. Actually, it just went over my cuckoo's nest. So let's go back to quickly. So this is it. So what is the logical fallacy here or illogical stuff going on? It's not in order, like, you know what I mean? The creation and all this, right? All that. That's, I can go, my mind, my broken, damaged brain seems traumatized or something, can go, can't go beyond explaining this now. I'm also tired. So quickly, what is logical fallacy? So let's read Lindsay Kramer a little on 15 logical fallacies to know, with definitions and examples. They're logical fallacies, those not quite logically sound statements that might seem solid at first glance, but crumble the moment you give them a second thought. Logical fallacies are everywhere. Once you know how to recognize them, you'll notice just how common they are and how they can undermine the point the writer is attempting to make. Being able to identify logical fallacies in others' writings as well as in your own will make you a more critical thinker, which in turn will make you a stronger writer and reader. So we have all these logical fallacies in the Quran, history of logical fallacies. Logical fallacies are likely as old as language itself, but they were first recognized and catalogued as such in the Nyaya Sutras, the foundational text of the Nyaya school of Hindu philosophy. This text, written somewhere between the 6th century BCE and the 2nd century CE, and attributed to Gautama, Akshapara Gautama, identified 5 distinct ways. You see, our God should have given this, that an argument could be logically flawed. Greek philosopher Aristotle also wrote about logical fallacies. He identified 13 fallacies, divided into verbal and material fallacies, in his work Sophistical Refutations. But Aristotle's definition of verbal fallacy is one where the language used is ambiguous or incorrect, and a material fallacy is an argument that involves faulty or flawed reasoning. So there's also faulty and flawed reasoning. Allah is saying, use your akal, but the akal could use the reason as faulty and flawed. The reasoning can be flawed and faulty. Today, our understanding of logical fallacies comes from these sources, even today, as well as contributions from later scholars like Richard Whately and Francis Bacon. Where can I find logical fallacies? That's not so important. Logical fallacies aren't restricted to just one age. It's not important. Okay, what are 15 common types of logical fallacies? For our, quickly, the Quran, ad hominem. An ad hominem fallacy is one that attempts to invalidate an opponent's position based on a personal trait or fact about the opponent rather than through logic. Example, Catherine is a bad choice for mayor because she didn't grow up in this town. Red herring. A red herring is an attempt to shift focus from the debate at hand by introducing an irrelevant point, which even Muslims want to do this. They do this when they come here. Example, losing a tooth can be scary, but have you heard about the tooth fairy? Straw man. A straw man argument is one that argues against a hyperbolic, inaccurate version of the opposition rather than their actual argument, which the Muslims do. And then Haris Sultan, I've heard say, this is a straw man argument. Example, Aaron thinks we need to stop using all plastics right now to save the planet from climate change. Equivocation. Equivocation. An equivocation is a statement crafted to mislead or confuse readers or listeners by using multiple meanings, which God has used, or interpretations of a word, or simply through unclear phrasing, which we find in the Quran amply. This I understand. While I have a clear plan for the campus budget that accounts for every dollar spent, my opponent simply wants to throw money at special interest projects, right? But so many I've shown you in the Quran, equivocation. Even the zan. Something goes, it's zana? Zina, you're saying? Zani? In the end, he was like, so one word could be used in it could have multiple meanings unless you read it in context. So crafted to mislead or confuse readers. Slippery slope. With the slippery slope fallacy, wait a minute, one word, no wait, this here, an equivocation is a statement, not just one word, sorry, is a statement crafted to mislead or confuse readers or listeners by using multiple meanings or interpretations of a word, multiple interpretations of a word, or through simply through unclear phrasing. Ayats are not phrased clearly, even at times in the Quran we see, right? Slippery slope. With the slippery slope fallacy, the arguer claims a specific series of events will follow one starting point, typically with no supporting evidence for this chain of events. If you make an exception for Bejal's service dog, then other example. Hasty generalization. A hasty generalization is a statement made after considering just one or few examples rather than relying on more extensive. So you can read all this appeal to authority, an appeal to authority which God makes, right? The arguer claims an authority figure's expertise to support a claim despite this expertise being irrelevant or overstated. If you want to be healthy, you need to stop drinking coffee. I read it on a fitness blog. Okay, I don't know about that. The Quran. I have to grasp this. False dilemma. A false dilemma, also known as false dichotomy, claims there are only two opinions in a given situation. Often these two options are extreme opposites of each other, failing to acknowledge that the other, more reasonable option exists. Example, if you don't support my decision, you were never really my friend. Bandwagon fallacy. With the bandwagon fallacy, the arguer claims that a certain action is the right thing to do because it's popular. Appeal to ignorance. An appeal to ignorance is a claim that something must be true because it hasn't been proven false. It can also be a claim that something must be false because it hasn't been proven true. This is also known as the burden of proof fallacy. There must be fairies living in our attic because nobody's ever proven that there aren't fairies living in our attic. Circular argument. A circular argument is one that uses the same statement as both the premise and the conclusion. No new information or justification is introduced. Peppers are the easiest vegetable to grow because I think peppers are the easiest vegetable to grow. Sunk cost fallacy. With the sunk cost fallacy, arguer justifies their decision to continue a specific course of action by the amount of time or money they've already spent on it. Appeal to pity. An appeal to pity attempts to sway readers or listeners' opinion by provoking them emotionally. Like, some Muslims come here to do. Appeal to pity. Causal fallacy. The causal fallacy is one that implies a relationship between two things where one can't actually be proven. Appeal to hypocrisy. An appeal to hypocrisy, also known as Q fallacy, is a rebuttal that responds to one claim with reactive criticism rather than with a response to the claim itself. Example, you don't have enough experience to be the new leader. Neither do you. Like that. Although this list covers the most commonly seen logical fallacies, it's not exhaustive. Other logical fallacies include the no true Scotsman fallacy, New York's fold their pizza, example, and the Texas sharpshooter fallacy. All this. So you can, I'll just copy it here and share it. Sorry. Oops, no. Where's my life? This is what's happening. People, I'm really not Muslims. I really want to genuinely come here to help you. And I'm not well, and I don't want to make people making a mockery of me, and because I can't talk well, and find that out, and my condition also. I have to talk about it because other reasons why, but I know the people can sometimes be terrible. This is what I found in the Quran and I'm sharing it. And so helping myself, helping you see and decide for yourself. So you see, like in the Hindu scripture, God tells us to use reason, but Allah tells you to use reason, but like what reason? What is this reason? But doesn't tell us how. Even like I, before I put this, like what reason? What reason? What kind of reason? But doesn't tell us how to use it with strict principles of validity, right? Whatever that means, like validity. A logical fallacy is an argument that can be disproven through reasoning. This is different from a subjective argument. So I'm jumping up and now this my thing, what I've written here. Yes, one ayah. So I jump to an ayah, which he does state if there are much contradictions. But what is a contradiction? You see, some Muslims come here telling me, no, there's no contradiction. But you haven't been explained properly what a contradiction is. And this way we have been so gone cases. Can Nizari Smileys prove that God is above existence? The knowledge. So how can Shia belief prove that Allah is above existence? The knowledge of God's existence is given in the Quran. Next, whenever I get it, let's see, this is very hard. The knowledge of God, you see, not God's existence is given in the Quran, but knowledge of God's existence is given in the Quran. And no proof is given of God's existence. Existence meaning or being objective reality. Zat-e-wajib, the necessary being. Free will is I spoke about this, right? Free will is a blessing, but you have original sin. In one of my previous earlier live streams, how can Shia belief prove? This is so shocking. How can God, okay, if God is above existence, how can you prove that Shias, where am I? How can you prove that God is above existence? Please tell me, what is existence? Is existence meaning once you're created, you are in existence? What if I prove that something that we have here is absolute? It's not created. Would you then say that, like something like pure existence, pure awareness, would you then say this is not God? Okay, I know that we can go into being unaware totally, like in a coma or deep sleep. We don't even know where we are. No dreams, nothing. But we get up, there's a pause in the awareness, in our awareness. I don't know. But what about pure existence? That no one has created and it's not changing, but everything is in it that is created. So something that is non-existent, what I mean by pure existence is that it is uncreated and everything is in it. Everything that is created is in it. Would that be God? So the Shias have to define existence and prove that God is above this. Of course, pure existence could be like uncreated. Pure existence is uncreated. And that's why things that are created, it can create and it comes in it. But pure existence is uncreated. Something which exists, which just is, without creation. Without it being created, it just is. What is this? Isness. The mind, we can use it. How far will the mind go with it? It is, so logically we can go with it, but to have that, to realize it, or who is realizing it? Mind can't realize it, right? Can the self realize it? Or this is the self existing, being, and nothingness. Without form, being and nothingness. Oh God, one thing was very difficult. Now I may understand a little bit. Being without, no, what is it? Being and nothingness. Being and nothingness. Oh, Paul Sartre. I cannot, I don't know if, I don't think I've been able to pronounce being and nothingness. Jean-Paul Sartre. Shiaism. No, just kidding. Sometimes published. Okay, I had this book. Social philosophy, existentialism, dealing with topics such as consciousness, perception, social philosophy, self-deception, the existence of nothingness. Oh, I love this. Psychoanalysis and the question of free will. Causes to what Sartre calls the ens causes to, meaning literally a being that causes itself, which many religions and philosophers identify as God. But the Shias don't. Oh, Shias say God is above this too. That just makes me like, that's what. So it was better to come to, oh God. God says he is near, right? Shias is nearness of God also an attribute created, and he is above his that attribute also. Yeah, he's above existence. A being that causes itself, born into the material reality of one's body. In a material universe, one finds oneself inserted into being. Husserl's notion that consciousness can only exist as consciousness of something. Sartre develops the idea that there can be no form of self that is hidden inside consciousness, On these grounds, Sartre goes on to offer a philosophical critique of Sigmund Freud's theories based on the claim that consciousness is essentially self-conscious. Being and nothingness is regarded as both the most important non-fiction expression of Sartre's existentialism and his most influential philosophical work, original despite its debt to Heidegger. Many have praised the book's central notion that existence precedes essence. Like Mullah Sadra, concept of bad faith, nothingness. Oh God, it goes on. Descartes. So this I have to read on my own, just sharing. Dizziness occurs in face of one's freedom, responding given reality. Descartes' Sartre rejects the primacy of knowledge. Phrase, a rejection summed up in the phrase existence precedes essence and offers a different conception of knowledge and consciousness. Husserl, how do you pronounce his name? Husserl, important ideas in being and nothingness. Edmund Husserl's phenomenology. To both philosophers, consciousness is intentional, meaning that there's only consciousness of something. Ego must be a structure outside consciousness, so that there can be consciousness of the ego. So this is all done through observation, intellectually or observing. Who is so how is this all, how did they come to all this? The origin of negation. This is through observation, mind, thinking. For him, nothingness is not just a mental concept that sums up negative judgments. So they came through this. So very important thing, maybe we have not realized the root when we, you see, observation, observe. First, how we come to it through the mind. Mind is not reliable, right? Rational thinking, logic, good, but it is good for to a certain extent. It's very good, but the action behind all this logic and all this, is there someone as the observer? The action or process of closely observing, or a statement based on something one has seen, heard, or noticed. No. When you are observing something, pure observation. So who is this? Who is the observer? Mind. Can we rely on the mind? First, who is the seer? The seer is the seer. The seer who is the seeker. Seeker, this is, what is observation? Seeker is the sought. And we don't realize that, and the mind goes on seeking. So we should know where we end our exhaust. We should know the origin of logic, mind. What is the mind? You see, first we should know what is. What is this mind that we use for logic, reasoning? What is the mind? So, Jiddu Krishnamurti, first and foremost. I have only found Jiddu Krishnamurti's thing, pointings, discovering together. That is the mind which you have, and I have, and the animals too, only much less of it. What is the mind? Must experience a totality, a timeless, immeasurable thing. So all that is the mind. And then there is the mind which says it must go beyond all this, must reach out somewhere, must experience a totality, a timeless, immeasurable thing. So all that is the mind. Jiddu Krishnamurti. According to Jiddu Krishnamurti, the mind is thought. All the activity of thought is separation, fragmentation. Thought is the response of memory, which is the brain. The brain must respond when it sees a danger. This is intelligence, but this same brain has somehow been conditioned not to see danger of division. The heart and the mind, Jiddu Krishnamurti. So the origin of all this logic, mind, where sometimes we read things and then the feeling, where this feeling, right? Some things like we understand through the mind, maths, and love we cannot understand through maths. It's a feeling. Sometimes even the mind we have to give up with the mind, because when we love. It's a feeling, emotion, feeling, emotions. So it's a movement. Emotions, I mean, feelings, emotions. So this is how I go. Emotions. Right? Emotion, maybe we should. Meaning. So there are meanings, a strong feeling deriving from it. Sentiment, feeling, yeah? Sensation. Distinguished from reasoning or knowledge. Instinctive or intuitive. It's kind of a movement. And thought is different. Does thought give us feelings? So this, or I feel, therefore I think. What is this? Or I think, therefore I feel. So I was going round and round in circles like this until I came to Jiddu Krishnamurti, and then did my own, like the observer. You see, because science is also jumping to science now, meaning how do we science, the systematic study of the structure and behavior of the physical and natural world through what? Observation. experimentation and the testing. So before we systematic study, but through what? First comes observation. So Jiddu Krishnamurti says if we observe, is there an observation without the mind, without any judgment? First observing something, then can we see it for what it is, like without judgment? Right? So like a tree, without defining what kind of a tree it is. Just seeing a tree in general, then it's a tree, general, not defining it. What kind of a tree it is. Just general, and so can we reach an observation where it's so like pure, without judgment? That it doesn't separate, or there's no division, no conflict then. And without thought, is there something, an observation without the mind? Is there this I am? Just I am. Is this? Without talking about existence, in existence I am, or what? No. Just I am. Without the thought here. No distance, huh? Not here and there, everywhere. Then can we find out? This observation, through observation, or no, yes, observing, the seer, without judgment, the self-evident. What is, the self-evident truth? Look, now this ayat also, right? What is the self-evident? Proof in itself that it is existing, not needing to be demonstrated or explained, obvious, right? That's self-evident truth. Reality, which is self-evident, or to ask whether I exist or this exists or not. Not like that. We don't ask. It's just this observation is so that it is so self-evident. Then can we say that this is, she asked, can we say this is above existence, like it's just this isness, not non-existent? Then can I explain your God to you logically first, through observation, and then we can see that this above existence, do you mean this isness here? What is? Not dependent on creation, coming into existence, but just being living, self-sufficient. Allah, there is no God but He. The living, the self-subsisting, the eternal. So would you say if you say the living, the self-subsisting, the eternal, these are three attributes of God, and God is beyond, so then He's not even living, but He's the source of all life, you would say. And we don't know God, who God is. But if you say that eternal, wait a minute. So anything that comes into existence is changing. Okay, it could be infinite, like go on forever. But God says everything will be destroyed except his face, right? So everything in existence will be destroyed, right? Everything will be destroyed save his face. Now, so his face will not be destroyed. He hasn't said his attributes, his names will not be destroyed. So what is his face? Is it pure awareness? Is it the seer? Face, what kind of face is it that God has? Like, is he talking about the eyes? He doesn't say nose, lips, mouth, ears. Okay, so you see infinity meaning that it started somewhere, the state or quality of being infinite. Okay, so we have to go to infinite meaning. Limitless or endless in space. Okay, impossible to measure or calculate. A space or quantity that is infinite. It doesn't mean that it wasn't created, but the infinite mercy of God. So you can say that, but it doesn't say that it was not created, impossible to measure, unlimited. Something which is here, which may be unlimited, boundless, like love cannot be measured, it's boundless and all. But it can be a creation of God, right? Love. The numbers are infinite and they start from 1. But where did they come from? 0, nothing. And that 0 was given to us, but it started from 1, right? 1 number. Did it start from nothing? But it started somewhere. Okay, even if it started from nothing, it started from somewhere, 0, and then 1, 2, 3. So it started, you would say. And it goes on endlessly. Numbers are infinite. You can count until, you can't reach the end of numbers, right? But eternal means eternal. So I'm not saying infinite. I'm saying eternal, meaning that existed, lasting, or existing forever without end. What I mean by eternal is that it didn't have a beginning, right? Didn't have a beginning. And doesn't have an end also. And it doesn't change. Like numbers can be infinite, but they can change from 1 to 2 to 3 to the quantity changes. Quantity changes. This thing which is here, it doesn't even change in number, like 1, 2. So it is unchanging, all this. I can't even call it infinite. Muji Baba is right about this. Muji ji is right about this. Eternal. You can't call it infinite or infinite, however you may pronounce it. Eternal. Meaning it didn't have a beginning, it doesn't have an end. She asks, can you call this God that is here, the isness. You can lose consciousness, but the isness which is here. Okay, I was thinking of like someone gets possessed, they can lose completely consciousness or go in coma, you lose your consciousness, but uh, and awareness, but this isness which is here, which is prevalent, which is beyond the mind, that you can confirm from itself it's eternal. So nothing, you see now when Allah says in the Surah Ayatul Kursi, sorry, what this, if this word is eternal, this name of Allah, then I'll come to the face of Allah. Everything will be destroyed but the face of Allah, right? Ever living, all sustaining, and we see eternal. Does this all sustaining Qaim mean like Qaim, not Qaim like infinite? Ayatul Kursi, Allah. Oh God, I got it, but where is it? In English. Okay. Oh, when I was reading Ayatul Kursi, I was like, Allah, there is no God but except He, the ever living, the self subsisting, the eternal. What Qayyum means, Qaim, and there's no deity except Him, the ever living, the self-subsisting, the ever watchful. No. Oh, I was, so maybe I should search it. Allah the Eternal. Quran ayat. He is Allah the One and Only. Allah the Eternal. Absolute. Surah Ikhlas. Does Surah Ikhlas say Allah is eternal? So, Allah does not deity except Him, the ever living. Why did it take me to... Oh, sorry. I didn't see. This was in Surah Ikhlas. He is one. He is God the One. See, He is Allah the One and unique. He is Allah the One. Oh, so many translations. God the Eternal and Absolute. Samad? Acha. Here, Samad. The Eternal. The Absolute, right? Now, Eternal, Absolute. You know what eternal is now? That it was not created, it doesn't come into existence, but it exists. It is with no beginning, no end, pure existence. So that's no beginning, no end, no creation, nothing. And it doesn't come into existence. So that's not non-existence and above existence because it doesn't come into existence. The eternal refuge, the eternally besought of all. God knows how you will put. He neither begets nor is he born. Samad. Samad is his Allah, the eternal refuge. Belongs house perfect. Okay, I don't think this kind of a name we can't be sure of this. But you know what is eternal, what I mean by eternal and what I mean by absolute? Huh? That it is not changing, not it doesn't have not qualified or diminished, right? Does qualified meaning let's see, just to be sure. It is whole. It is. It's not complete. It's not complete. We can't say it's complete because it doesn't. It doesn't have. It was never half to be completed or like that. So yeah, no, not qualified. Not qualified. Which is here, which is not far from you in the sense that it is here without any distance. And it wasn't born. And if you go to Muji Baba, so that will help. But I'm doing a little bit of Muji Baba like this to help Muslims. Even the Shia, especially the Shias who say, of course, all the Shias, 12 Shias, above existence. God is above existence. Do you mean that God never came into existence, right? He can't come into existence. So then this which we see, which is the seer, which we don't see, but it sees, and then we know through it and the knowledge, not through knowing, but through itself we realize that it doesn't have birth, doesn't have, because it's not even from the mind, right? It's, you see, when you just move your hand, right? Move your hand. Okay, your eyes are moving with them. But there's something, I'm moving my finger. But there's something, no. But yeah, my eyes are moving. But there's something which is the seer witness, and it has no movement, and yet it sees all movement, without moving. So now I just demonstrated to myself that I said before that the seer has to be motionless, without movement, to see the movement. But my eyes are moving, as I'm moving my hand, finger, and my neck is also a little bit moving. And yet this doesn't have any movement. Because it doesn't have change. It is pure. It's not mixed with anything. It doesn't have change because it's unchanging. Because every change, in every change, how does change come about? Because there is movement, motion. And this doesn't have movement. Okay, so a little bit of my correction. This is the seer who is the unmoving. But I said before that because it doesn't move, it can see all movements. No, I was wrong because the eyes who are seeing this are also moving with this hand of mine in front of me, in front of my eyes, as I'm moving it. So we look at it later on, how we can see this logically, and then realize it, and then I guess I'm very tired now, so can't do that right now. So let's see. But this above existence, God is above existence. Do you mean that? What do you mean by this? I wonder. Meaning? Can you even, but you'll have to then define what is existence. And if existence means that being created and coming in existence, having a beginning, having a creator, and existence means coming into something, then above existence is existence, but pure existence, not coming into existence by creation or manifestation or something. Movement, manifestation, reflection, coming into existence. But something which exists prior to, what could be prior to existence? Can this, which is not born, doesn't have birth, doesn't have death, doesn't have change, be prior to existence? Think about it. I mean, no. Reflect, observe without judgment, without using the mind. Can we? What do we come to? The ever existing, can we say it like that? Because also it says he's not non-existent. So have we realized God for a moment in time, the timelessness in itself, timelessness, making us realize itself, our true nature, like this. Okay, thank you very much. I leave you with the truth and your true nature which is God bless you all much, always, and your family members, your friends, your country. Have a beautiful, wonderful day, always in bliss. I hope you find and you live this, your godly divinity, your everlasting, formless, beyond existence, God, self. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.